Why didn't the industry right even there cut her off and say, you know what, enough is enough? And that's what I see him doing. Plop, plop, fizz, fizz on the toilet. Dank is the heavy set one. Is that politically correct?
Yes.
Right, I don't want no Lizzo coming after me. But, so... Welcome to Remote Reviews with CeCe. Today, my co-host will be Shod Santiago. Are you Latin or Italian or Spanish?
Hi.
He black.
I'm black because that's my race. However, but my grandfather's Bayesian, but I don't know where Santiago came from.
Oh, you're Asian?
No, he's Bayesian. Like, he's from the islands, Barbados.
Oh, because I was like, Bayesian, that's a new one.
However, though, look, but he's probably some Spanish or something. My grandfather's given. I'm black, so.
I find you very deliciously chocolate.
Thank you so much.
Malaysian coffee. Okay, so we're here today, and of course, we're here to review for you. We're going to start off with Deb's house.
Quiet on the set!
Music mogul, Deb Annie.
We about to make history. Let's stir some up.
Creates rap legends.
I feel like I met her, or I feel like she's always been in my house. But it is Deb's house. It's on All Black Network. It's by Deb Annie. So this is to me, a take on the black rap real world. It's about rappers. It's not the P. Diddy version, because she's a lot nicer, but it's about these rappers. Am I correct?
Yeah, they're rappers.
And they had names, because this generation in their names, Shod.
But I think they gave their rap names, though. Or their
real rap names.
Their entertainment names.
So we're going to go, because I want everybody to get their spotlight. We got Hot Chalk. She's the one that had the saddest story outside of Rocky. And then we have Dank DeMoss. We have Billboard Baby.
I remember, okay. Is that the one?
Okay, we're going to go there. But let me get everybody's name out, because that one. Who Camille, Rocky, Honey Bee, Queen Izzy, Big Molly, and Electra. What are your thoughts on this show? I'm going to start off with, when they auditioned, I didn't think any of them were worthy. If it were me, I wouldn't have really hired any of them. We can't give too much because we want you to watch the show. I felt like overall it was a great show. I loved it. I want to hear your thoughts, and then I'm going to continue.
So first of all, shout out to Deb. That's like family to me. Known Deb for years. And randomly,
so you lived in the house too? No.
Well, I didn't. But however, though, with Deb though, she likes giving opportunities. Like I had my own radio show. My best friend and I with Deb 10 years ago. So Deb used to have a radio station. However, though, I love the show though. I was telling somebody recently, right? I think that when it comes to these shows, we love the show based on the characters. You know what I'm saying we definitely love Deb, and Deb was the name and the reason why people are watching the show. But we wouldn't be watching if it wasn't for the people on the show. However, a few of the people, when you said that you wouldn't have picked anybody, I do feel like this is a house, right? About helping the artists develop them. That's what Deb's job is. So I guess naturally you might not like him, but then by the end of the show you may be like, oh, I see why she kept her, you know what I'm saying? Because she helped her, develop more. She, you know what I'm saying, got her personality out more. Like the girl Rocky, I think that she's dope. And she's entertaining to watch. And then also...
Entertaining to watch, but very annoying. Her attitude. I wanted to feel sorry for her, but it was hard for me.
Well, she gives me the shit.
Where Hot Chalk was the different. She also had a very sad story. They came from the same city, remember? And Hot Chalk was more... So you just had more empathy, where the Rocky one was just...
I think they both are very aggressive.
They were, aggressive. But one felt more empathetic than the other.
To you, yeah, okay.
Yeah, to me, to me. I felt also, what was the young lady who really got on my nerves? Billboard Baby.
Okay, but which one is
that was the one with the wig that shouldn't have a wig, but she should have, she was the, and boy, and she was very annoying. I felt a lot of times that Miss Deb definitely picked the right people. I want to also mention Dank. Dank is the heavy set one. I don't want to say, is that politically correct?
Yes.
Okay, sorry, because I don't want to insult nobody, because I ain't trying to get sued, but
well, no,
I feel I hurt feelings, because
yeah.
Right, I don't want no Lizzo coming after me, but so
I'm sick
girl,
of
I
your
will
ass
sue you
already.
too, but whatever. So I feel like that, is it a setup? Because could we really open up our our homes and ears and to a heavyset rapper who, no offense, when she's even rapping, and I want to say later on I didn't hear it as much, but who can barely even walk
up the steps
on the stage. Like, are we setting up her for failure? Because I didn't understand her choice when she chose her. Now, granted, I feel like, yeah, she's getting all these young ladies, giving them the opportunity, but are you really giving them an opportunity, and are they really gonna come out with music that we're gonna love and, you know, buy, have these young ladies, you know, like a reality show, have them, and then we never see or hear from them again.
Right.
I feel like Dank was an empathy choice, but she can rap. I will say I did enjoy her later on, but is it really reality? Like, I mean, she could barely, when she was rapping, I just kept hearing her
breathing issues,
and then we're gonna oh shit, okay, I'm not a rapper.
I mean, I think that a lot of them on the show keep saying that the reason why they felt they should be on the show because they were like, well, I'm a good candidate because I rap about real life. But nowadays, I feel like it's more about what's entertaining or what is catching people's attention, right?
Right.
And you rapping about what happened in your life. If no one else can relate to that, it's like, girl,
I cannot rap.
And right, but also too though with Dank, like I don't know, like it's giving me very much. I want you to feel sorry for me. Remember she was crying at the thing. I wanted
to mention also everyone that said, you know, I don't normally cry. I ain't like that.
They
I'm hard and shit.
Right,
the main ones is they was crying. They was crying. I was like laughing at that part because I thought that was funny. But I want to say, I loved when she brought them in and she had them come in and take out all of the makeup and the weave. I loved that.
You loved that one? So what you love about it?
I love the fact that she said, come in here and take off all your wigs, your makeup, and just be who you are outside of your rapper's name. So I loved that she has to come from maybe not my generation, but maybe my mother's generation, but I love you, Deb. But I feel like her wisdom, she was pushing into them. And if anything happens, at least these girls are going to walk away with an experience.
Right.
Maybe not, they may not be the next Nicki Minaj, but they walked away with cooking, experienced, you know, fashion, blah, blah, blah. And I love that about Ms. Deb, that she sat there and let them scream and go off on her, because I wouldn't have.
Let's be clear, okay? Deb is very much given, if this was another scenario, somebody screaming in her face, it would have been a different outcome. However, though, I think that what Deb is showing them is that if she's letting them express themselves, you get it. Let's be clear. Sometimes when somebody's yelling at you, it's not that they're yelling at you. They're just yelling because they're frustrated. It's like, oh, the situation, I'm mad right now. So why I said some people, like not you. So sometimes like me, I'm not necessarily yelling at a person. It's like, if I'm passionate about the conversation or what just happened, I'm yelling in general, but not necessarily at you. But that's all about, like, if you take it personal or not personal. Deb didn't take it personal. She let her bid. You know
and I love that. That's what I'm saying. I love that. Where if, no offense to Puffy, but, you know. No shade. But remember, he would have probably taken it. Some people would have taken it another way. And that's what I love about it. I feel you'll learn something. I love the plot.
Oh, I'm not going to say, but I'm saying the episode before last.
Yeah, that was like what? So this one I give a 4.5 remote. What say you?
I give it 5 remotes.
Right. I think this is how we go on my show, not stars, but remote. 1 to 5 remotes. 5 is the highest, 1 is the lowest. You can even do a 0 because we're going to get there with that.
But there are a lot of shows like this that have happened. This one, every Friday, I make sure that I'm watching. I
don't know anything about rap. It's not my thing. But I really enjoy it. I didn't know what those young ladies were rapping about.
Remember they said they life experiences, child.
Oh, yeah, that. I didn't have those experiences. But I'm not being snooty, but I am. Okay, so we're going to move on to the next. Oh, this is one of my favorites. Okay, we're going to do Back to Black. We had to watch this. And let me tell you why. One, it was almost the anniversary of Amy Winehouse's death. So that I wanted to watch it. And it intrigues me of a Amy Winehouse, a Whitney Houston, a Prince, you know, people that, you know, died too young for me. And why did they go these routes when they had everything?
I'm glad you said that.
So Back to Black, I want to say this one is directed by Sam Taylor Johnson, who did 50 Shades of Grey. The writer was Matt Greenhalgh. Greenhalgh. I'm gonna be one of those people that ain't gonna say names right. But I respect the art. I'm just saying it right now because we're gonna do an African one And it's starring Marissa Abela, Jack O'Connell, Eddie Marson, and Leslie Manville, who plays Cynthia, which is really my government name, Cynthia. And Amy had Cynthia on her, and I'm just throwing that out there.
Yes, very connected.
Right, yeah. Like, I feel like I knew her. And, you know, I'm going to tell a funny story about this, but let's just talk about the acting. Marissa, which plays Amy Winehouse, I felt like her acting, I think she tried too hard to be like an Amy Winehouse instead of bringing out who she is into the actual character. I felt like, and she does all her singing, by the way. What I read is she does all the singing for herself, and I also feel that way about the singing as well. And as you gradually go along in this movie, she gets better. I want to say that. Because at the beginning, I was like, girl, come on now. But eventually, I think she grew into the character and loving the character and being the actual character. It's hard to do biography-styled acting to me, because the only way it sells me is you become the person I almost think you are, Amy Winehouse. In the beginning, she did not do that for me. Now, but later on with Blake, she gets a little better. I want to say that about the acting. And everybody was a good actor, and I think the guy that plays Blake, which is Eddie Marson, he was really good. He was cuter than the actual Blake.
And was child.
Yeah, he was cute.
So the actual Blake ain't cute, child.
Yeah, I don't understand it, Amy. When he started saying he couch surfaced, that was run, bitch, run. But, you know, she had issues prior to that.
Child.
She was, but see, what I want to say about this particular movie, and then just because there's two movies you should watch. If you watch this, you should also watch the actual award-winning documentary, Amy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that, but I watched it like 10 times. Yeah.
I want to say with this one, I thought it was shallow.
But the award winning with Amy, it was clips of Amy. You know
right, it was
different.
really Amy.
Yeah.
But they took some of the clips and made this particular movie, even though it, you know. But I think, to me, it was very shallow. The script, the dialogue was very boring.
The one on Peacock?
Yes, the Back to Black.
Okay.
This is my, you know, I felt that the script was very shallow. I'm sorry, my opinion. Her father was a bad influence. They didn't put that in this movie. They made it seem like he was really, even though she said my daddy didn't want me to go to rehab. Told her but they don't make it seem that way in the movie. They make him seem, and I didn't like that. I thought Blake, who, quote unquote, I'm gonna say allegedly because I don't want to, you know, the English people coming and sue me. Allegedly, he even though he really said it, he was the one that turned her on to heroin. They don't talk about that in this movie. I didn't like that they didn't really come in and really talk about her drug issues at all. They did kind of make it seem as more alcohol, but she was on drugs very heavily, like heavily. I did not like that they didn't really genuine. Oh, I'm sorry, allegedly.
Child,
I mean, it's documented. Fuck that shit. Go watch YouTube and that last little concert she did. And even with that,
they were saying it was different.
Right.
No, remember in the movie they were like, "What is she on?" Remember they were saying
right.
That.
So it's not really allegedly, but for the sake of not getting sued.
Right, allegedly.
Allegedly, she was on heroin. Okay, but if you go and see her last concert, which I had it because my husband went and saw. Yeah, I am married. He saw her twice, and he said she was, you know, the first time she wasn't so bad in New York. He saw her, and then after the second time he saw her, she was a totally different person. I want to say, for this particular movie, it was okay. It just went around the core. It was very PBS.
Yeah, good thing.
Right? For me. What do you think?
Me too. I mean, I liked it. I felt she did great. The actress, like you said, that you felt like she
in the beginning. I felt like she grew into her role.
But I feel like isn't that the point, to try to like act as much like the person?
No.
I think that's the point. Like, you know, like this is her. She's trying to act like Amy Winehouse because she's embodied Amy Winehouse in the movie.
No, my point is she didn't act like Amy to me in the beginning. I think she
tried too hard to act like her.
Right, but when I say try to act, like as an actor, you're trying to act like someone else instead of embodying Amy. I'm more of a method actor.
Right, yeah.
So in embodying someone, you become that person.
You become that
don't
person.
Act
that makes
like
sense.
that
yeah,
person.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
That makes sense. Yeah. Well, I agree with that. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely feel like that. She, but I think, what's her name? She did good.
Marissa.
Yeah, I mean, I think she did good. I do agree with, they didn't really show, like, I really thought the movie was gonna be like showing her like about, like, remember the Amy documentary? They talked about how the drugs she did. I thought they were gonna depict that in the film, but they didn't.
Because it helps people.
Yeah, no, to say like why it happened or what happened, right? And like you said earlier, like people think like people have everything, right? Which two people who don't have everything, right? Or what people deem to have everything. Like, to me, having everything is like peace of mind. And being healthy, right? But being famous and having material shit, that's like, child, that's not everything. I hate the fact that people we think that, oh, being famous solves your problems. It actually makes shit worse. That's
it makes it worse.
And then two,
if you're already not there.
Right, yeah. And then two, let's be clear, imagine this, right? You're already fucked up, right? From the way you were raised, you become famous. Now you try to cope with it in different ways. So you do drugs, you drink, and saying like that. Yeah.
And she wasn't happy. She did not want, she didn't like the being famous. She said it. That's not allegedly. She didn't like being famous.
Well, a lot of people have this misconstrued. They don't understand this, right? When you're actually a talented person, right, and you're a singer or an actor, right, you are in this to be an actor. Now, fame comes with it because you've gotten very good, and now you have notoriety. But it's like, initially, I came into this just being singing because I'm a singer and I can sing really good, and now I have a record deal. But people's goal nowadays is just fame, but it's like, and like,
you don't know what you're gonna do to handle it. She was 20. I think she was 22, 23 when she made it. Like, yeah, like, but
she
probably
wanted to be
younger
a singer.
than I think with this particular movie, what I would have liked to see different, because I've already seen the documentaries. There's so many documentaries about her.
The AIM one's the best one.
I would have liked to see the angle as to why did she get with a person like Blake? Why? What was the family trauma? What happened to her
that made her
want to? Because it's not all his fault. Let's just start there. It's kind of like a Bobby Brown, Whitney Houston. It is not all Bobby's fault that you chose to do drugs. What made her want to do drugs so heavily? Because normally you're doing drugs because you're trying to hide something, or not even hide. What do you want to say? Take the place of some kind of pain.
Suppressed.
She trauma bonded with Blake.
Trauma bonded, yeah. I mean, but let's be clear.
You know about that in your generation.
Right. Well, this thing, I think that people don't realize, right, that when someone's doing drugs, I don't think the intention is to be an addict.
Right.
It's like, oh, I did it for the first time, maybe didn't know what the fuck was gonna happen, and then now I'm addicted to it. So it's not. Yeah, I think that she didn't want to be addicted; she just was addicted. You know what I'm saying? So even like I doubt that Blake's that his intent was, let me make her an addict. I'm saying, like, oh, they tried.
No, he was an addict too, and they were young, and you got to understand that, because she died at 27, and it's very unfortunate because I loved Amy. I feel really bad about what happened, but do you think the industry pushed her over the edge, even with her last concert? And she kept saying, I don't want to go on the road. I don't want to do this. She had her father in her ear. I don't want to do this. And when you're under contracts, you have to do what you have to do. If you saw her last concert, the girl she fell like 3 times. I mean, she couldn't sing. She stood up there like, where am I? Do you feel that the industry, they had a part of her decline? You'd have to go on and see her last concert. That girl, that was not a concert. That was someone she did not even know where the hell she was.
She was there, but she wasn't there.
And she was, I want to say, allegedly high.
We're gonna say that she looked high.
Right, no, when you doing all this.
No, I'm saying what we said.
I seen that in New York. But fuck that shit. So she was out of it. Why didn't the industry right even there cut her off and say, you know what, enough is enough? She died 2 or 3 months later after this concert. So do you think the industry at times, when you know that someone is just far gone, is there not a time where you should just say, you know what, yes, this is a human being. It's not about making money all the time. Let's try to save this person's life, and you know what I mean? She's cut off from here on out. Right. Take this girl off the stage. Go get and then they didn't also, what they didn't do in this movie is show that she had been in and out of rehab. Right. They only showed that she went one time. She had been going in and out, in and out, in and out. So I guess my question is, do you blame the industry, or do they have some kind of responsibility for these celebrities, especially now in this generation, to say enough is enough, you did your time, blah, 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 let's move on to someone else? What say you?
Well, I think everybody is responsible for themselves.
I agree with that.
I think that,
but
right. I mean, but I think they're responsible for themselves. Like if you don't want to do something, don't do it. You know what I mean? I get it. She's on the contract.
She was in
No,
contracts.
I'm not talking about her. I'm saying like in general, like
right.
you don't do it. But I don't feel like someone in the industry or like the industry is the reason per se. Now, granted, look, would it be nice if they were to cut you off if you're doing too many drugs and say don't do it? Sure, but you know the shit. These people in the industry, they all about the money. Like, oh, look, we got paid already. I got my cut. Like, child, go out there. It would be great if they were to say no. You know what I'm saying? That's why I think when you are that kind of star or to a certain level, you hire people on your team who you know really care about you. But be clear.
That's hard now.
Right. Well, I said, but that would be an option. However, though, like I mean, even like with Whitney Houston, she had her brothers on her team and she still declined. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody's responsible for themselves.
Did she have her brothers on her team?
Oh, right, child. Well, look, right, child, yeah.
Right, I'm like, now her mother maybe, I mean, Whitney's a whole nother beast, that one. That's one of the saddest stories. But I to sum this one up, I think they could have done more in this particular movie because sometimes now, especially when it comes to drugs and when these people die at this particular age, I think they have a responsibility to tell us the real truth and nothing but the truth and not, feed us.
Well, after the fact, right?
Right, feed us bullshit.
She's gone there. Why you ain't tell the whole story?
Yeah, like you might as well. But, sometimes they just want to preserve the thoughts of what we felt. But it is what it is. She died of alcohol, allegedly. I give this one 2.5 stars. I mean, 2.5 remotes.
I give it 2 remotes.
Yeah,
I mean, it was, I like, honestly and truly, so watching that one, I wasn't like glued to my TV. I was like doing shit while I was.
Oh, you know what? Shout out to hair and makeup. They did make her look like Amy.
No, I think she looked good.
Right, and then cinematography with all the London and where she actually, because they actually moved it. Yeah, beautiful. But outside of that,
2. But shout out to the actors though.
So next we're gonna go with, we had Back to Black. Now we about to do Divorce in Black. Written, directed by Tyler Perry, played by Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry did the costume. Tyler Perry
played by Tyler Perry. He
built the house. He built the set.
They were the Tyler Perry Studios, child. It's a big thing. Look, you know what? He might as well dress up as what's his character's name?
Medea
at the church.
I mean, everything Tyler Perry, but whatever. So this one is starring Megan Good.
I love Megan.
The beautiful Megan Good, Corey Hardick. What's interesting about that is they both are going through went through a divorce.
What's interesting is that I feel like Tia, that situation with him and Tia, he played a character too good for me. I was giving baby something right.
Why did I think that?
I'm giving. That's why they broke up, child. Because he probably was acting.
I was like, sometimes you wonder.
Oh.
Debbie Morgan, which is one of my favorites, all my children. Jesse and Angie. Let me stop. Richard Lawson. I'm just gonna throw this out there. How did you drop the ball with Beyonce mom? Like,
that guy.
I couldn't stop thinking that while I was watching that. Like, I wonder what happened with her.
Because a man gonna be a
Tina's.
man, child. But I was thinking the same thing too. I was thinking
you can't help but think like, wonder what happened in that marriage. Like, how do you drop the ball like that? But touche.
He a man. That's right.
And you know what? I'm gonna give a shout out to Taylor. I might mess your name up. Polidor. That's the best friend. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. So I gotta say it. And I'm sorry if I'm gonna say this from the get-go of this show. I fuck names up, okay? I fuck them up. I can't help myself. But she was good. I'm giving you a shout out. You know who you are. So
bestie.
I wanna say with this, you know what? Let's start off with this. We're gonna read what Lonnie Love said. I love Tyler Perry. I love that Tyler is paying Black actors. Now I wish he would hire Black writers and directors that have experience to help him with his movies. He could improve the movies and make them award-worthy if he would stop trying to save money by doing the writing and directing himself. What say ye?
I agree. However, I love Tyler Perry's movies. If you're ever hiring, I'm here. However,
okay, this ain't no commercial.
But listen, CeCe, we
gotta be real though.
I'm being real. Listen, I do love his movies. I do think that Tyler is very frugal when it comes to. I feel like he hires actors that he hires because he knows he won't have to pay them as much as the other experienced actors. You know what I'm saying? Like the one who played. And then no shade to this lady. I'm sure you practiced and done your work and your acting. However, the mom.
I was about to say you gonna say the mother.
I mean the mama.
What about the sheriff?
Yeah,
the white people. Let's throw the white people under sometimes.
No, he was bad too. But the mama was like, she had more parts than him. She. I'm sorry.
She kind of liked the mother, believe it or
just
not.
like you said the last movie, right? You said the girl was acting. Look, the mama to me was really trying to be like, it just gave like she.
I liked her. I thought she was funny at times.
What parts you thought were funny that she did?
Just all of them.
No, you thought as how bad the acting was, you was like, oh, shit is funny. Yeah, pretty much. Me too. I laughed at that.
Let's just start with the first scene.
I don't even want to talk about it.
I felt like I went to the bathroom or to the kitchen to make some popcorn. I came back and I just came in the middle of something because that first scene didn't even make sense. Whoever the editor was, that first scene made no sense. It just, I didn't know what was happening. What is happening right now? It threw me the fuck off.
Tyler always wants to give you a message.
What was the message?
So I'm thinking that the message is that is you see how he didn't want her. Then when she didn't want him, he wanted her back. I guess like saying like this. So I thought it was like, oh, maybe saying like that a man will treat you a certain way until they realize you don't want them and they want you back.
No, it's the same message he always gives.
Definitely a message.
It's the abuse.
Oh, same thing happened to I Remember That Woman, something like that.
Right. The mad, and which was a good movie.
Yeah, I love that.
Right. I want the Tyler that was writing back in two. If you are gonna do it right, because
the couple last
the one that was in the Tyler that was like 2005. When he was writing those Woman, movies,
family,
Pray Together, Stay Together, whatever the fuck that one was.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
But he been dropping the ball lately with the movies.
Because, like Lonnie is saying, you need fresh blood. You can't keep having. One thing I teach as an entrepreneur, you can't wear all the hats. And he doesn't need to save money. Give opportunities, like you're saying.
Why you get another writer? You right.
Right, you just write and just have, because I don't want to say it's greedy.
Tyler, you didn't go through this shit to be writing this shit.
Right, and your ideas are still in the same box. It's the same thing. The abused woman who has a side piece, whose, husband or, doesn't appreciate them, and then you leave them for the side piece, suddenly you grow balls, and then you kill or beat the fucking husband that did.
Right,
it's the same premise.
So I'll say this.
I wonder, did he have a lot of abused women in his life?
It reminded me of this.
Talk about his mom.
I wrote a book in 10th grade, and I was just making up shit.
A book in 10th grade.
I was making up shit as I was going. I did. I feel like that's what he was saying.
I said he was on the toilet.
That's why it made me think about that. Because I'm like, I did the same shit. I was on punishment for an entire summer, and I was just writing shit, right? But if you read the book, it's published, actually. However, when I read it, when I read it after publishing, I was like,
what the fuck was that?
But I was just in the room just.
And that's what I see him doing. Plot, fizz on the toilet.
Why you had to be on the toilet? Why is that a thing?
Because you know what? You got to stay on the toilet a lot when you go in, and you got to do number two. Yes, y'all do.
No, see, that's what
no. Y'all get newspapers and let it all hang.
I think
fuck that shit.
I think guys like that.
Watching our time.
Okay, so I give it 2 remotes. Namely because of Megan Good.
Okay.
I love her.
You know what?
Yeah,
I'll give it a 1.5 because I'm gonna push it up for Megan. And Corey was good.
Yeah,
Corey
was a little too good for me.
Whoever that hair was throwing me the fuck off. That afro.
But Corey was a little too good for me. No, and plus also I'm gonna give it 2.5 remotes because the best friend to me was very relatable.
But can I ask, why did they never just call the fucking police on the guy? Like
that part annoyed the fuck out of me. No, when they kept saying we need proof, like stop, that's not a thing.
It was a bad script. Sorry, Tyler.
Don't be sorry, Charles. How you feel?
I want to say again, one of my dreams is to be a waitress.
What, in a movie or just
like
one of my dreams is to be a bartender.
I just want to be a waitress. Or I want to be a bartender too.
Like maybe for 2 days.
But I want the one that like everybody tells their problems to.
No, and they tip you good.
I want to be the Florence.
Who's Florence?
Cut. You don't know Florence? From the Jeffersons? Florence?
I don't remember that. I thought she was a waitress.
Thank you so much for it. Thank you so much for joining us with Remote Reviews with CeCe.
You post that shit
shit. Big girl, post that shit. Alright, post that shit.